Hello, everyone. It is Delusion Dispeller. I am going to be sharing from Proverbs chapter 5. And this is going to be an interesting type of book today because this particular book involves, I should say, sorry, this particular chapter involves a man that is wayward, that is straying into bad paths with an adulteress. I'm only going to do 1 through 15 because I think those are the most important verses and the verses that pop out to me that can also be applied in general to relationships with ungodly people. I'm going to actually be able to share this screen so we can look at it together. All right. So we are looking at Proverbs chapter 5 here. I'm just going to check and make sure. Okay, I need to make it bigger so you can't see it. It's too small. That should be good. Yeah, probably a little more. There. All right, that's excellent. We'll go with that. All right, so I'm going to go back up to verse 1. We're going to do 1 through 15. This is Proverbs chapter 5, if you are following along with me, so you know. All right, we are winding down to Proverbs 1 pretty quickly here. My son, attend unto my wisdom, and bow thine ear to my understanding. In other words, pay attention and listen to what I'm saying. That thou mayest regard discretion, and that thy lips may keep knowledge. Discretion means being guarded with what you share with people. No, I am not a good example of this at all. I share way too much with people. It's something I have to learn to do. But we all should really work on being more discreet about things. And then it says, and that thy lips may keep knowledge. That means that you're going to keep everything. It's weird how King James words this, like lips may keep knowledge, because really knowledge is kept in the brain. But it basically means that your lips are not going to betray the knowledge. They're not going to speak it out. You're not going to tell things just haphazardly without thinking about them. You're going to use discretion. For the lips of a strange woman drop as a honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. In other words, the lips of the strange woman are just going to spit out whatever she wants to say. And it's going to be very deceptive, smooth. It slips on by. But her end is bitter. Hang on. Her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. I'm not really sure what wormwood is, so I do want to look that up. I'm going to try to take some time here and make sure I clarify anything, at least for myself, as to what things mean in these verses. So wormwood, let's find out on our phone here what wormwood is. Oh, it's a plant. It's called the Artemisia, native to temperate regions of Eurasia and northern Africa. It's grown as an ornamental plant, is used as an ingredient in the spirit absinthe, as well as some other alcoholic beverages. So she's like a drug, is what it's saying. Her lips are going to say whatever. Her mouth is going to be spewing whatever in a slippery, kind of deceptive way. But her end is bitter as wormwood. In other words, she is like a drug. She's going to just pretty much have a negative end to her. Sharp as a two-edged sword. She's sharp and she's cutting and she's bitter and she's not a good character. You get this idea that, drugs, this kind of drug is very, very potent, like alcohol. And also, and that was not my definition, by the way, that came from actually Wikipedia. So whether you take or leave Wikipedia, it says the active toxic agent is absinthe, a liquor popular in the 19th and early 20th centuries. I can't talk, sorry. It has an antinociceptive and insecticidal and anthelmintic cavity. I don't know what all that stuff means. What does wormwood mean in the Bible? It says, refers to the dark green oil produced by the plant, which was used to kill intestinal worms. Okay. Wow. So it's a bitter thing. It's bitter to the worms and it kills them. So this woman, her end is bitterness. She's bitter and sharp. Her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold on hell. Yeah, not somebody you want to hang out with or have as your best friend, obviously. Okay. Lest thou shouldest ponder the path of life. Her ways are movable, that thou canst not know them. She changes a lot. She changes her character. She changes the way she behaves, changes the way she treats people. She can go from pleasant to negative very quickly. It says if you're pondering the path of life, if you're trying to make sure you're on the straight and narrow, just so you know, that's what they're saying, just so you know, she's changeable. You can't count on this person. They're going to change like the weather. It's another phrase that we sometimes say. Verse 7, hear me now, therefore, O ye children, depart not from the words of my mouth. Meaning, listen to what I'm telling you here. Don't ignore me. Remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house. Don't go into the house of these types of people. You can, apparently, you're not even supposed to go near the door of the house, let alone in through the door. You're supposed to remove your way far away from these people. Lest thou give thine honor unto others and thy years unto the cruel. So people that hang with these types of people apparently are cruel people. And you don't want to go in there and give all your life away to these cruel folks. That's what it's saying. You don't want to give your honor away. If you have a good name, you have a good reputation, don't hang with people that are bitter as wormwood, that are cutting, that are hurtful towards other people, because they will take away your years. Don't give your years to the cruel. Verse 10, lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger. In other words, you're going to be spinning your wheels. There's no point in even working towards anything, because everything's going to go towards this evil, these evil endeavors. So don't do it. Don't go there. Verse 11, and thou mourn at the last when thy flesh and thy body are consumed. You're going to go down. You're going to go down hard if you hang with these types of folks. And say, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof? Meaning, what a dummy I am. Why didn't I listen? Why didn't I turn away when they told me to leave this alone and not go there? And have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined mine ear to them that instructed me. I was a rebel, in other words. I didn't listen to the people trying to give me good sound advice. People that earned the right to speak into my life, that I had a rapport with and a trust with. I haven't obeyed them. I've gone my own way, and now I'm regretting. That's what this is. How have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof? I'm having regrets. I should have listened. 14, I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly. That basically means you're just overcome with this negative evilness now. All right. So I'm going to stop there. I mean, honestly, these verses speak for themselves. The rest of this is basically just telling the man to stay with the wife of his youth and not go after the strange woman. So, don't commit adultery type of thing. It's pretty potent verses here to take into consideration that if we continue to find ourselves wandering into situations with people that are vile, that are speaking negative and evil things and tearing down people's reputations and being, just not godly, then we're giving away our youth to these bitter folks and this bitter situation. So we need to make sure that our company that we keep is godly. And if not, then we should not expect to not have results that are bitter and negative and bad. Just a little tidbit from Proverbs 5. I didn't write it. Do not shoot the messenger. I'm just sharing with you from my point of view how I believe it can be applied to a life. And if you want to argue with me and say, well, yeah, but that's about a guy going into a strange woman. Nowadays, guy, woman, ambi, what do you call it? Ambigender, whatever. Doesn't matter. We all can benefit from realizing that we don't need to be going into situations that are ungodly, situations where people are being negative towards other people, those kind of things. And honestly, lately on YouTube, I've seen a lot of really great rooms spring up. So if you need a list of some of the, rooms where this stuff doesn't go on, where there's no screaming, yelling, cussing, perversion, bullying behaviors, whatever, just let me know. I'll share with you some of the rooms I hang out in that are truly godly, good rooms. And it's not just on YouTube, it's with relationships in your actual life. You don't want to give your wealth, your health, your character into a stranger's hand that is going to rend you to pieces and destroy you. So that is Proverbs 5. Hopefully, next time we will get to Proverbs 4, and it will be as interesting as Proverbs 5 was. I hope you enjoyed this reading from Proverbs 5. I am Delusion Dispeller. Please like this video if you liked it. Share it with your friends. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you have, welcome to my channel. I will see you on the next Proverbs group of videos when we do Proverbs verse or chapter 4. We're winding down to Proverbs 1. I started with 31 way back when, a couple years ago, I think, maybe a year ago. And we're almost done. So let's just keep on going till we get to Proverbs 1. Thanks for taking the journey with me, and I will see you soon. God bless.